What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Darren, the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. On the channel, we talk about fragrances and we talk about fashion as well. So if you're into looking good and smelling great, or you want to find out more about looking good and smelling great, then subscribe to the channel and also make sure you hit the bell icon as well. That way when I upload new content, you get notified. All right, guys, today I'm going to be talking about new designer releases. So I'm going to be covering off on 8 brand new designer fragrance releases that were released this year, 2022. So on this video, I'm going to give my initial impressions, if you will, on these 8 new fragrances. 2 of these fragrances I will say I have already talked about on the channel, but I cannot leave them out because of course they were released this year. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, all 8 of these fragrances have something in common. They have several things in common, as a matter of fact. They all smell good. So I will tell you that before we even get into the actual video, all 8 of these fragrances smell great to me. Of course, all 8 of them are also designer fragrance releases. They were all released in the year of 2022. And while all those things are okay, smelling great is, of course, one aspect of this. It's the primary thing. But there's also one thing that these fragrances have in common as well that I'm not that much of a fan of, and that is the fact that every single last one of these designer fragrance releases are blankers. So I kind of have an issue to some degree with that, and I'm going to get all into it in this video. So if you want to see my thoughts on 8 of the newest designer fragrance releases, then you know the routine. Keep it locked right here. Let's get it.
The Bowtie Fragrance Guy.
All right, guys, we are back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked in. We're going to go ahead and jump into the video. As always, cheers to my coffee drinkers out there. Oh, man. It's a spot every time. So cheers to all my coffee drinkers out there. I'm enjoying some coffee. Again, I always say this, guys. What's one of my sayings? There's nothing like fragrances and coffee. It's just something that just goes well with those things together. Yeah. All right, guys. So again, we're going to be covering off on the 8 new designer fragrance releases from the year of 2022. I'm going to give you guys my initial impressions. I'm going to show you guys the boxes, show you the bottles really quick, and just jump into it really quickly, not going into detail, just my initial thoughts. Now, the first one that I want to talk about is the newest one from the house of Dolce & Gabbana, and this is called Light Blue Italian Love. Okay, so this is the box. It looks very nautical. So of course it would make you think about the summertime. And I'm going to pull out the bottle really quickly and show you the bottle. The bottle is absolutely gorgeous. I love this bottle. I'm not going to lie to you. As far as bottle presentation, this is one of my favorite of 2022, and it's actually one of my favorites from the whole Dolce & Gabbana light blue line of fragrances. You know, they come out with one of these every year around the summertime, so we're right on schedule. So really quickly, guys, this fragrance smells phenomenal. This fragrance smells exactly like Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Forever that came out last year. I mean, it's almost identical. The only thing I could tell you is that they may have toned, this one was a tad bit fresher, and they toned down the grapefruitness just a little bit. But honestly, when I'm going to do a more full breakdown of all of these fragrances. But for right now, if I go compare the note breakdown between this and Light Blue Forever, I'm probably going to find that unless they're not being honest, which I hope is not the case, unless they're not being honest, I think I'm going to find out that they probably use about the same ingredients in both of them, the same notes in both of these fragrances. Again, this one is just a little bit fresher. They may have toned down that grapefruit just a little bit. I think they may have gotten word that the grapefruit note was very polarizing in Light Blue Forever. And while some people absolutely loved it, there were some people that just could not deal with it. And so I think they probably just toned down that grapefruit a little bit and said, let's go at it again. That's what this smells like. So if you have Light Blue Forever, unless you're really into the collecting thing and or reviewing or something like that, then this is, to me, it would be redundant to have both. I'm being honest. This is just my initial impressions. So I'm going to be doing a more full breakdown. I have worn this. I'm going to talk about performance and all that kind of stuff. But Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Italian Love is Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Forever Italian Love. That's what this, that's what this is. All right. So the next one that we have here. Now I was very impressed by this one, but again, it's a flanker. All of these are flankers. And this one is from the house of Cartier, and this is Carrie Haute Fraicheur. All right, that's the box. This one again was released this year. And I will tell you now, this is a great one for the summertime. It does, again, all these smell good. I will tell you that up front. This is what the bottle looks like. All of them smell good, guys, and let me go ahead and address this as well. Like I said, and I want to make sure I'm clear about this. Even when I talked about the new Acqua Di Gio EDP, don't get it twisted. It smells phenomenal, but again, my issue is just that all of the designer companies are coming out with only flankers. There's like nothing brand new, like no new names, no new bottles. It's just kind of, again, a flankers on top of flankers. So that's the only issue that I have. I want something brand spanking new. Now, again, with all that being said, like I told you in the intro, all of these fragrances smell good. They smell good, but some of them are a little bit redundant because they're flankers. So anyway, this one right here, Declaration, again, Haute Fraicheur. It's a fresher interpretation, if you will, of the original Declaration from Cartier. And then you have, of course, Declaration d'Ansoir with that infamous rose note in that one. This is a very fresh fragrance, very bright citruses on the top. And I get something that's really reminiscent of tea. That's what this kind of reminds me of, but this is gonna be a great one to wear in the summertime. This smells really good. The next one that I have here, this one is from the house of Givenchy, and this one is Gentleman Reserve Privee. This is the box. This one actually has a sleeve on it, so you just slip the sleeve off of it. And here's the actual box without the sleeve. All right, and the fragrance itself is a gorgeous bottle. I absolutely love the bottle. I love the bottle, but again, this is a flanker of the original Dolce, the original Givenchy Gentleman. That infamous iris, you smell that. As soon as you put your nose to the atomizer, you smell that iris. Now, this is a lot more creamy, more of a gourmand take on that DNA. I will tell you, as far as scent profile, this is one of my favorites right here. It's not anything completely brand new, because there are other fragrances out there. Of course, that iris in this, just like the others, reminds me of Dior Homme, Dior Homme Intense, and Dior Homme Parfum. But this has like this creaminess in there. I think it may be some coffee or something in here that's making this really creamy and really gourmand. But this smells phenomenal. It's kind of a chocolatey vibe in this one as well. But this thing smells absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, this time of the year is not when I would wear a fragrance like this. So in my humble opinion, the timing was kind of off on this release if you really wanted to, because some folks like to get fragrances when they can really wear it. And I know you have people out there that say, wear what you want when you want. Yeah, I get it, but I'm telling you, you wear something like this in the summertime, again, it's just gonna be cloying. You know, it is what it is. But I think this is appropriate for fall and winter, but this is definitely gonna be in high rotation because it smells great. That's Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privee. All right, the next one we have is kind of along the lines of the previous, and this is 1 Million Elixir. All right, this was another one that has a sleeve on it. So you take the sleeve off, and here's the box. Very reminiscent to the other 1 Million boxes. And this is the Elixir, man. The bottle presentation is about the same as well, except you have 1 Million Elixir written on here. Another one that is really, really good. You get some of the original DNA in this one, but just like I talked about with Reserve Privee, there's a nuttiness to this one. I gotta see what's in this. It may be some coffee or something like that in this one. It has to be. That I'm getting that creamy, kind of nutty vibe from. I want to see what it is. Smells great. Again, it's a flanker. So that's the only thing with these fragrances, man. It's like, it's a flanker of a flanker. So the notes are saying that this one has vanilla, tonka bean, and patchouli in this. Vanilla and tonka bean. So that's that sweetness that I'm getting, that creamy sweetness on the dry down. It's a little bit different from the original 1 million, but you can detect the original in this one. Another one that's going to be great for the fall and winter seasons, but it does smell good, but it is a flanker. I've already talked about this one, so I won't go much into it, but another flanker, this one came out earlier this year from Mont Blanc, and this was Legend Red, and I already kind of talked about this one before, so I won't mention it, but I'll go into detail about it. But again, another flanker. I've already talked about this one, so I won't go into this much about this one as well, from Giorgio Armani, Acqua Di Gio EDP. Again, let me reiterate in case anybody got it twisted on my last video. It smells great, but again, it's Acqua Di Gio Essenza, the original, and a little bit of Profondo, kind of wrapped up in one bottle. And here's the thing with flankers. Yes, I think that is, to some extent, of course, some people expect a flanker to smell similar to the original, especially when you're just going from an EDT to maybe an EDP concentration or a parfum. But again, once you do that 2 or 3 times and you haven't come out with anything brand new, I think that's where people start to have a problem. So that's what my problem is. I just want to see something totally new from these companies and not just flankers over and over. Okay, now another one that came out, and this is high on my list too as far as my favorites from Valentino. This is Valentino Uomo Born in Roma, Coral Fantasy. This is a really nice one as well. I love the bottle. This is probably my favorite bottle of them all. Check out that bottle. The juice is kind of almost the color of coral, which is almost a peachy, almost pink color. But that is a very nice bottle presentation, and the fragrance does smell great. I wore this one. It's kind of got this, to me, this kind of aquatic touch to it, which I think is going to lend itself well to being able to be worn in the upcoming, of course, season of summer. Mass appealing, easy to wear, smells great, kind of went along that line, but it does smell good. I'm very impressed with this one as well. To me, this is one of the more unique DNAs, although it's mass appealing, but if you talk about comparing this to like the original fragrance from the Valentino line, even comparing it to something like Yellow Dream, this is more unique. So I can't say that about this fragrance. So I do really like this one as well from Valentino. Again, this is Born in Roma, Coral Fantasy. And all these fragrances, guys, I'm gonna do more of a full breakdown. As a matter of fact, what I would like for you guys to do, I may try to see if I can do a poll, is to let me know in the comment section of these new releases, of course, minus Acqua Di Gio EDP and minus Mont Blanc Legend Red, which I've already done a little bit more of a detailed breakdown on. Which one of these newer releases would you guys be interested in seeing more of a full kind of one-off review of? Okay. And I have one more here from Bad Boy. This is Carolina Herrera, and this is Cobalt Electrique. Okay, so it's called, it's an Eau de Parfum Electrique. Okay, well, whatever that is. But Cobalt, of course, you think Cobalt, you think blue, obviously. And here is the box. I'm sorry. That's what the box looks like. This is a kind of big box. And then this is the fragrance. The same thing as the lightning bolt that you've seen from the other releases from the Bad Boy line. But of course, it is in the color of blue. And my thoughts on this one are this. Again, another one, it smells good. It's fresh, it's kind of aquatic. There's a little bit of a blue DNA in here, of course. But this has a very unique plum, note of plum, and there's also some truffle in here. So a little bit of a unique twist when you think about a blue kind of scent DNA to have something like truffle and plum. And I will tell you, when you initially spray it, that plum, boom, it's going to remind you of 1 Million Lucky. You remember the very infamous 1 Million Lucky, the sexy fragrance that had the hazelnut plum combination. This one has truffle and plum, so it's gonna kind of put you in the mindset of 1 Million Lucky. And then it comes in, when it dries down, as more of this kind of familiar kind of blue and Broxney kind of DNA, more like a Coach for men or something in that area. But again, I am want to hear which of these fragrances you guys want to see more of a one-off full review on. I plan on getting around to all of them, but I would like to see which one you guys would want to hear more about first. So overall, guys, just as a summary here, all of these fragrances smell good. They're all new releases. They're all from designer companies, and they are all flankers. And that's, as of right now, that is the only issue that I kind of have with these fragrances, because again, as a collector, as a fragrance enthusiast, I am just ready for something brand new that we can get excited about in the fragrance community. But all right, guys, that's it. That's my time. I hope you enjoyed this video today. Again, leave down in the comments section which of these fragrances you would love to see more of a full kind of one-off review of, and I'll be happy to get to doing that. As always, I sincerely appreciate your time and your attention to these videos. You guys don't have to watch, but you do, and I sincerely appreciate that. Now, don't forget to make sure you take a few moments to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you are sharing these videos out to some other folks that you think can use this information or find it entertaining. Because I'm your guy, man. I'm the bow tie fragrance guy. I love to look good, and of course, I love to smell amazing. So until next time, guys, keep looking good, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.